Giving an update today on how the garden is doing. So we start off with the potatoes. They're looking pretty good. And we have some cantaloupe growing. This is a Rocky Ford variety of cantaloupe that are really delicious. The peanuts are doing well. I cut some comfrey leaves and put some in between the tomatoes. Got to do more cutting of comfrey leaves. We have the peanuts growing in with the tomato plants. We've picked quite a few tomatoes already. Have some pretty marigolds. Those are some Russian tomatoes. They're doing really well. There's more. And these are bell peppers. You can see ladybugs on them. Getting the aphids. Thank you, ladybugs. And the artichokes. This artichoke's doing really well. I got to pick it again today. About once a week I'm picking at least half a dozen artichokes. And then the carrots and leeks are doing great. I'm picking carrots from this one. And then we pulled all the garlic and replanted it with beans. Have the onions. Those are going to get pulled up pretty soon. More tomatoes. These are the San Marzanos. The asparagus is done for the season. We didn't get too many because the plants are pretty young. But next year we will have more asparagus, then we'll know what to do with. The apricot tree. Apple tree. Mulberries. And down here we've got some eggplant. Hoping that the eggplant does well. The plants are looking pretty good. We have some strawberries. And the strawberry plants are just going crazy, which is great. And then we have a little plum tree. The blueberries. We actually put some acid into the blueberries, so hopefully they'll be greening up. This plant here is greened up some, but they have a really hard time in our alkaline soil. Salvia is doing great. Cauliflower is looking healthy. Pear tree. This whole area was beans, and then I had the squash in the middle. So I've now pulled out one row of beans on each side of the squash to give the squash a little bit of room, especially since we have all the new beans growing on the other side of the greenhouse. And this always has really great flying insects on it. So this is carrots, and these flowers are going to at some point turn into carrot seed. And until then, they're just a magnet for flying critters. Then we have some more of the potatoes. Here we have Brussels sprouts, and they're just starting to grow up. And back here you can see some of the Brussels sprouts forming along the stem, or along the stalk. And I did cut some Brussels sprout leaves that were starting to stick out of the high tunnel. And those you can eat just like cabbage, but they're even a little sweeter than cabbage. I'll cut some of this comfrey and use it for some fertilizer. We do have some cabbage growing. Don't know what happened to the cabbage plants in the middle. And then we have broccoli, and we've been picking broccoli, but because the high tunnel is so warm, we're not getting full broccoli heads. We're just getting bits like this. It'll grow about twice that size, and then I'll cut it. So we're just getting small bits of broccoli. This is better for me to plant during the late summer so that we'll get a good fall harvest. These plants will start giving us better broccoli in the fall. Then we have the potatoes that didn't grow last year that decided that this was the year to grow. The lettuce most of it went to seed, and then you can see small lettuce plants are starting back up, and then the beets are doing pretty well. And this plant here is the celery that is going to seed. And the kale, so we had the one kale plant that did go to seed. This other kale plant is 2 years old, just keeps producing, has not gone to seed, and I just cut the stems off of the stalk so you can see down here that stalk, and I just keep cutting pieces of the kale off. Finally, the cucumbers are going to do something, and the okra isn't doing much, but we're getting okra off of the plants, even though they're still less than a foot tall. The basil is coming up. The snapdragons gave us a beautiful showing, and they're starting on a second bloom. And then more basil, more bell peppers. Over here we have Tabasco peppers growing, and then the grapes. And right here is the only pepperoncini plant that grew. I have more Tabasco growing right here. The sunflowers are looking good. So we'll give the flowers to the chickens during the winter time. But I really planted the sunflowers because these roots will go down 8 feet and really break up the soil, help us out there. The sage is doing great. The chicory is doing great. Looks like a weed, but it's chicory. The leeks are doing well. Chives never came up, but instead the oregano is spreading, so that's all right. Marjoram is doing great. The thyme is doing great. Savory isn't doing super great, but we've gotten enough that I've already cut some and have it hanging in the kitchen. The lavender has some dill growing in it. The dill has decided it wants to take over everything. The cilantro I just cut back, so it went to seed, and the cilantro seed is coriander. So I do have some more seed planted, but those plants that I cut back are going to keep growing. And then we have the dill, and don't have any seed off of it yet, but we should be getting dill seeds soon. And the chamomile. And more potatoes. We are going to have, sorry about that for the shot, a good crop of elderberry. And we have some pumpkins growing over there. Just some small ones so far, but we should get some pumpkins. Last year we got about a dozen pumpkins, and we have some watermelon that just came up, and then the grapes. So that's it for the tour. So the garden's doing great. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.